Alright, so part 2 of 10.3 area. As I said previously, I'll break it into 3 parts, so you're not listening to me for, an hour or so. We're on to Heron's formula. Heron's formula is used to calculate the area of a triangle when we know the length of all sides. The best example in this is if you don't have a right-angled triangle. Most of the time with a right-angled triangle, you can use half base times height as the area formula. But in this case, our ABC triangle, we know all 3 sides and it's not right-angled. Alright, so our formula is area equals the square root of everything under here, S times S minus A times S minus B times S minus C, where S equals A plus B plus C divided by 2, the semi-perimeter. So I'm not going to call it the semi-perimeter because that's 6 syllables. That's wasting too much time. I'm just going to call it S. So what we do is we add up these 3 sides. Now, it doesn't matter which one you allocate as A, B or C, because at the end of the day, 3 plus 5 and 5 plus 3 equals 8, regardless of which way you add them together. Then you divide it by 2. So remember, this fraction line here is secretly a division sign. Then we input everything into here. Now I'm going to show you on the next page, do not try and simplify. Expand the brackets and simplify. Keep it as is. Keep it as S, keep it as S minus A, keep it as S minus B, keep it as S minus C. Otherwise, you're dealing with S squareds and SA, etc., etc. It's easier to cancel down numbers than multiply. Okay, our example. Now I have, there we go, scribbled on that page in error. So to use Heron's formula, we start by using our S formula, which is S is equal to A plus B plus C on 2. I'm going to change colours so I can show you. A, B, C. I'm just starting smallest to biggest. It's nicer and neater that way. It doesn't matter what you use as A, B or C. So equals, my A is 10, so that's 10. My B is 11 plus 11. And my C is 12. And wrong number. Add them all together divided by 2. I get 33 divided by 2. So I'm thinking 2 steps ahead and writing the wrong numbers. So 10 plus 11 plus 12 gives you 33. Divided by 2 gives you 16.5. Now this is my S value. Anytime I see S in the next equation, I'll replace it with 16.5. So my formula is A equals the square root of S, S minus A, S minus B, S minus C. And square root sign over all of that. As I said, every time I see S, I'll replace it with 16.5. So let's start this again. 16.5. Open the next bracket. 16.5 minus my A value is 10. Then 16.5 and my B value is 11. And the last one, 16.5, and remembering my C value is 12. And then close that bracket there. Now we start to simplify each bracket. So we've still got 16.5. Now 16.5 subtracting 10 gives us 6.5. Second bracket, 16.5 minus 11 is 5.5. 16.5 minus 12 is 4.5. Oops, forgot to close that. Now, if you're looking at it this way, it is easier to then have to deal with a few numbers rather than a mixture of letters. So, under this thing, 16.5 times 6.5 times 5.5 times 4.5. I'm going to bring that up over here. So I'm running out of room down the bottom there. And that is equal to the square root of 2,654.4375. So there's a lot of decimals there. And then if I was to square root that, so I want the square root of 2,654 plus a little bit of change, and I end up with 51.52, and because we're working in millimetres, I keep it as millimetres, and because we're dealing with area, we square it. Now remember, if you don't include this guy here, there's a fair chance you're going to lose some marks. So the area of my triangle, of a triangle with lengths 10, 11, 12, gives me 51.52 millimetres. Now I'm pretty sure I left a blank page on the next one. I'm going to throw another example up there. Yep, alright. So another triangle example, and back to my blue. My triangle, we're going to keep the numbers little, 3, 5, 6. Don't actually know the answers, I'm working this out as you are. So we start with our S, equals 3 plus 5 plus 6 on 2. As I said, it didn't matter which one was my A, B or C. Well, I always start with the little numbers, it's a little bit easier to do it that way. A, B, C. We're back to 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 6 equals 14. Divide that by 2 and I get 7. So I haven't calculated, so I apologise if my calculations are wrong. Let me just double check. Divide 14 by 2 is 7. Alright, so that's my S value, 7. My A formula is the square root of S, S minus A, S minus B, and S minus C. So 7, open brackets, 7 take 3, close the bracket, 7 take 5, and then 7 take 6. A slightly smaller number to have to deal with. So I've got 7 still under my square root sign. 7 take 3 gives me 4. 7 take 5 gives me 2. 7 take 6 gives me 1. So square root that again. And I've got 7 times 4 times 2 times 1. Top of my head looks to be about 56. Let's just try it anyway. 7 times 4 times 2 times 1, 56. So I'm after the square root of 56. Now I know that 7 times 7 is 49, and I know that 8 times 8 is 64, which means that it's going to be about 7.5-ish. So my area is equal to 7.48, and then whatever units of measure I choose. So if I was working in centimetres, I would put centimetres down here, but remember to put the squared because we're talking about area. Alright, I'll be back for video number 3, which will be covering the area of compound shapes, or composite shapes. Thanks.